Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen. I'm your host, BoredGamer, of this Star Citizen-y podcast. I'm here with the moderately excited Zin. Say hello, moderately excited Zin.
Hello, moderately excited Zin.
Perfect. We only have one joke and that's it. But that's all you need. I've heard you only need one joke and your audience will love you. Especially the people that hate it. Right, what's new? Well, there's lots of stuff going on. We've got a load of stuff with Wave 1 of Alpha 3.24.2. Loads of hidden features in there. Loads of 4.0 stuff. We've got new server meshing tests. We've got Day of Vara, CitizenCon. It's less than 2 weeks away. We've got angry people about a 7-day work week, which they might not actually be so angry because CIG might not be doing a 7-day work week. We'll talk about that. What's new with you, Zin? Are you doing all right?
Yeah, I'm all right, mate. Thanks for asking. How are you?
Good weekend? Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, had a relatively uneventful weekend.
Okay, well that's nice. Yeah, right. Sometimes just having a bit of a chill. I got my Quest 3. I'm at Quest 3, and I played some dumb VR chat stuff with your partner DC.
Yeah.
He was James from Silent Hill 2, and so was I, and everyone else was also James from Silent Hill 2. Just everyone was James. Anyway, we'll do some MetaQuest adventures in the future, almost certainly. Let's talk about Alpha 3.24.2, which has gone to Wave 1 on the PTU. We're not 100% sure when this patch is actually going to be released to live. It's probably CitizenCon, is that what you think as well? Or am I vastly overestimating? Okay, probably CitizenCon patch. It's got a load of the 4.0 code base in it. Well, it is the 4.0 code base, the patch. And I believe it's the first time we've had a patch that's been stripped down. They've gone, it's 4.0, but they're removing the features of what 4.0 is supposed to have, and it's just, they've turned off a load of them. But the patch does seem to be accruing more and more 4.0 and 4.0 adjacent content or parts of 4.0 to sort of alleviate the burden, and we've talked about this before. Obviously, they want 4.0 by the end of the year if possible, and one of the ways of doing that is by getting this stuff tested as soon as possible and getting shaking out the big bugs. But there's a load of hidden stuff in that patch that keeps on turning up, and the latest thing I saw was hover trolleys.
Are they back?
So they've returned, and well, they're not gloriously returning. Some people have found them in distribution centres.
Right.
And they're incredibly buggy. They just fall through the floor. But they are around and they can be used, and if they haven't fallen through the floor, good job. but it looks like they might be appearing in 3.24.2, but it might be a 4.0 thing. It's hard to tell with some of this stuff that's sort of turned up in the patch. Are you looking forward to hover trolleys, or are you just like, it doesn't matter, we've got gravity beams, we've got our tractor beams, we've got our mech suits that also are big tractor beams, we don't need hover trolleys, or are they essential?
No, I think hover trolleys are pretty essential.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it depends how close you manage to park your ship to your elevator, because sometimes it can take a bit of a trek to and fro those boxes.
Let's hope they don't sell hover trolleys for real money. Let's hope they don't. No, they won't, surely. I love you, CIG, but your marketing team does like to try and sell everything. Well, that's not enough. After the land claim stuff, actually, they haven't tried to sell everything. I just feel like they overly priced the Atlas suits significantly, right?
Yeah, I think one should have come free with your hangar.
Yeah, and hopefully you'll be able to either buy these hover trolleys in-game, or they'll be part of just hangar props that you'll be able to use.
Even if it's like not a paid-for rental, but I'd like to rent this. And then it
just comes to the cargo.
Up, and then you can either put it back or it will disappear after a certain period of time. Magic.
Or it's palleted on them.
Yeah.
You get your cargo palleted on hover trolleys. We'll have to wait and see. I'm interested to know what other people think will happen with them. Are they going to be part of 3.24.2 proper if they can get them fixed and working, or is that something that's going to turn up later? There was a bit of drama. It's Star Citizen, and there's always drama, right?
What a surprise.
What a surprise. So, the most recent drama stuff that I don't believe has been resolved, as it were, yet, is the Corsair is having two of its big main weapons moved away from the pilot and is basically being given to another station. So the pilot has less access to weaponry. And people are a little bit nervous and upset about that because they're like, well, I want to run the Corsair solo or with just a small crew complement. Why take that away from the pilots? So what's your first thoughts and feelings on that?
I don't think it's a terrible idea. I don't own a Corsair, so I don't really know. But okay. I feel like the ship should be run with more than one person.
Yeah, it is a multi-crew ship. And CIG appear to be, and they said that this is going to happen to many other ships of the larger size, most certainly. At least that's what I inferred from what CIG have said. Yeah, they're taking away some of the pilot guns so that they're less solo friendly and more focused on multi-crew. Now, in the future, you might be able to slave those with AI blade stuff, or you might be able to get NPC crew to run them, stuff like that. But multi-crew ships, they want you to run them multi-crew.
Yeah, I think there should be more incentives to have multi-crew rather than try and run it on your own.
Well, I mean, the other incentive is going to be that these ships are going to take quite a lot of attrition damage, and fire's going to start, fuses are going to blow, components are going to get damaged with engineering in 4.0, so you're not going to be able to run these ships solo anyway in combat. You might be able to move them around, and you might be able to run a little bit of combat, but you're going to be at a huge disadvantage as soon as you start to take any meaningful damage. So yeah, I'm in agreement with you there that I want ships to be more focused at multi-crew if they're supposed to be multi-crew, more incentive to multi-crew them. But I also want incentive, not just nerfs. So I do want multi-crew ships to be very powerful. I do want them to have a significantly higher time to kill problem than they do at the moment. We know that things like armor are coming in as well. So in 4.0, it's just going to be armor as a component, but I do think it's getting more advanced than that in the future. Yeah, I think I align with you on that, Sin, with give us reasons to use multi-crew ships as multi-crew ships.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, is they're not nerfing the ship, they're not getting rid of the guns are still there.
Yeah.
It just requires somebody else to run them.
Yeah, it's exactly that, right? They haven't technically nerfed the ship. It's still there on paper. In fact, well, let's see what happens with other larger ships, because it might be a sweeping change to all larger ships getting weapons moved off the pilot. And it's going to cause some friction, because it's going to be a lot of people going, I want to fly this solo. You sort of can. You will be able to have a level of AI blades in there. You will be able to have NPC crew in the future. It's just Star Citizen's an alpha, and as they move towards a release and a load of these features, some of the stuff is going to change, and for the short term is going to change your experience. And for people that want to fly these ships entirely solo, you're out of luck, unfortunately. I don't think CIG are going to change that, even if lots of people are like, but I want to fly it solo. You can in the future with some of these other bits and bobs. I am interested to know what other people think, though. Never say never. Do you sort of think that's fair? Do you think, like, if enough people were like, no, I want to be able to run these larger ships, but not capital ships, solo, if enough people said, give, CIG would make a concession, or do you think that they're probably not going to make a concession there?
I don't know. I'd like to think that CIG will be like, nah, this is what we have in mind. You're just going to have to deal with it.
Okay, yeah. Move forward with the direction and the vision for the game. We'll see what happens. I'm interested to know what other people think. Obviously, Zin and I's opinion are our own opinions, and you are allowed to have vastly different opinions from us, and we will respect them for the most part, unless they're stupid. Unless it's a stupid opinion. Something else that was causing drama, but has since been reverted, are the boost changes. I remember talking to you about this very briefly. Basically, they nerfed the speed of ships further in master modes by reducing your boost speeds, which people were using to mitigate some of the slowdown from the master modes. They've since reverted that because they sort of halved boost speeds that you got, and now they've just gone, we're reverting that because this patch isn't ready for those sort of changes, and they're going to be iterating and working out exactly what they want to do after 4.0. So there's going to be some small changes to balance and tweaks and that sort of stuff to ships and master modes and the flight model and weapon balance and stuff in 3.24.2 and 4.0, and then significantly more after that once they've got the engineering systems in. Do you have a particular direction you want this to go at all in the flight model and that sort of stuff, or do you just want to see where it goes and then you'll comment on it after it's in a better state?
I'll probably comment on it after. I'm not much of a PvP, not really much of a PvE either. I'm more happy to just fly around and rescue people and stuff.
Yeah, not so much into the ship combat.
Yeah.
But if you do ship combat, it's mostly PvE. Same as me, I enjoy the PvE more, but I understand that it all needs to balance together with PvP. Obviously, some areas of space are going to be more PvP orientated and PvE orientated, or a mix, and that's sort of going to change as the game gets more developed and iterated on. I do want to feel, I want to have that Titanfall 2 experience of I want to feel like a badass when I'm flying around in my ship, even if I'm bad at flying. I need that. I need to feel like I'm an okay pilot, even if I'm not that great. We'll see where all this all goes. Obviously, I do want a big skill ceiling, and I just don't want an ace to be able to be literally untouchable, while also being able to wreck everyone else in an area. I do want them to be able to be taken down by like 5 other pilots all on them. Lots more balances, that sort of stuff after 4.0 is what we'll get. At least that's what CIG seem to have said. The P8 ARC. So this is the Squadron 42 sort of assault rifle that's been made into a civilian weapon. So it's the C version, the ARC version, and this comes with the CitizenCon digital goodies pack. It's also in 3.24.2. It comes with 15 shots, pew 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 pew. It's really quite a powerful gun. It is semi-auto, as it were, but at the moment, and this should change, you can't buy ammo for it in game. So once you've used your 15 shots, it's done. So at the moment, I find that silly, but it's called a little collector's weapon thing. But obviously, it's in the PTU at the moment. That should they should put ammo in shops for that weapon in the future. But yeah, I think once you've had a play with it, soon you'll probably quite enjoy it. It's quite a cool gun. I like it. Also, in the latest PTU patch, which came out last night, I think, it was mostly sort of FPS and weapon balance changes, a load of bug fixes. They did tweak some other bits and bobs, but the 3.24.2 Wave 1 patch is looking pretty good at the moment. They're making good progress. If they want to release this to live for CitizenCon, they will be able to. That's my opinion. It's going well.
Okay.
But there's been a lot of other stuff going on with that patch. Lots of data mines and leaks and that sort of stuff. And I have got some spoiler warning videos specifically on that. And I will not spoil you today. For the most part, a little tiny spoiler just from the sneak peek in the newsletter. I think that looks like a new Argo vehicle. But I'm not 100%. There's a load of rumours and leaks and sneak peeks and stuff that have been talked about, and it looks like the rest of those CitizenCon 2023 ships and vehicles and a load of others that CIG have been working on will come out between 3.24.2 and 4.0 for those patches and for Intergalactic Aerospace Expo, for CitizenCon itself, things like that. Are you looking forward to what might be like between 4 and 8 ships and vehicles turning up in the next 2 months?
I mean, it depends what they are, what their roles are. Yeah. So
I suppose you are more focused on those less combat roles, but you do like some interesting stuff. Like obviously, you like the idea of medical rescue.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any sort of ship or vehicle role that would excite you?
No, not really.
No, just I think a lot of people want to see the Apollo turn up and stuff like that, and I'm quite excited for the Polaris, that torpedo corvette, which has had some significant changes to its weaponry recently as well. They've basically gone, let's give it some more bigger, more powerful guns. Let's make it so that it doesn't just rely on its torpedoes. I think that's going to be a cool one. And that'll be interesting to see if they've moved what its pilot has access to weapons-wise. And if other ships get their pilot weapons stripped down, the larger ships anyway. What else has been going on? Server meshing tests. So CIG put out a little server meshing sort of test breakdown for the latest test. They had 6 servers, 1,000 players running on a single shard, and it was magnitudes better than the previous test. There was a little bit of instability. There were some performance drops, but still a load better, and more tests are planned, more optimizations. It's getting better and better and better, that static server meshing. Are you excited for that, Zin? Or are you just sort of like, well, I mean, not excited for it. It's just a necessity that CIG have to solve to make it an MMO.
Yeah, it's nice to see that it's working or getting there. Yeah.
I'm excited for the amount of effort they're putting in before 4.0, because I don't want a 3.18 situation. I don't want everything to implode. And it looks like they're doing pretty well with server meshing. Day of Vara, or Day of the Vara, I should say.
Month of the Vara.
Month of the Vara. So Halloween month. A few things going on. There's Kill Collector in Arena Commander, and if you come top of that, then you will get a little challenge coin. But what do you think of these new Day of the Vara paints, Sin? Is it Splatterfest?
Yeah, something like that. I think they're great.
Yeah, well, you love purple, right?
Yeah, so I'm not actually keen on the whole purple and green thing.
Okay, yeah.
But I I like the option of being able to have brighter, they're quite bright, but brighter ship skins.
Virulent. That's the way. Vibrant.
They're actually called Purple Haze.
Are they called Peppy Haze?
That's what it's called in the shop.
I thought they were called Splatterfest. Oh,
no, I think that's just a tagline.
That is a tagline. Okay. Yeah. I like them. I think they're cool. I like it's not opulent, metally looking skins that they've previously had. I like the pearlescent is the word I was looking for. Pearlescent sort of skins. But I also like the very neon colours that they can do as well. Yeah, cool. I think they're great. Also, if you go around looting, you might find some of the masks. And if you haven't previously found those masks before, there's 9 to find, or 9 variants to find. You'll get them, I believe, permanently added to your hangar. I think that's cool. Go look in the Halloween exclusives. CitizenCon. That's really what I want to talk about, Sin. It's less than 2 weeks away. Are you excited?
Yeah, I'm a bit excited.
I looked at how much it costs for us to get CitizenCon tickets. We weren't given CitizenCon tickets. We weren't given any hotels or anything from CIG or anything. We're going off our own back. And I say our own back, what I mean, I've used the YouTube money and donations. Thank you very much. If anyone else wants to, any donations and any additional funds and stuff like that generated at the moment will go towards CitizenCon tickets and hotels and all that sort of stuff, because it was pretty pricey. Those tickets were £240 each or something ridiculous. Yeah, it's less than 2 weeks away. I'm very excited for it. We're expecting the full 2 days schedule later this week. It's probably going to be Squadron 42, big things announced. I'm expecting a release date. I'm expecting it to be very focused on Squadron 42, but a load of stuff beyond 4.0 is what Cloud Imperium have said as well. So probably them talking about their roadmap to 1.0, an actual commercial release for the game. Is that what you're sort of expecting as well? So I know I keep on asking, but I'm going to keep on asking you.
Yeah.
We've only got one more podcast before CitizenCon, so...
We'll be saying the same thing next week.
It'll be exactly the same thing. And just copy and paste the podcast. There was something that I did see, that I have talked about in another video, but I wanted to get your opinion on. There was that article on the 7-day work week that CIG have imposed upon its staff that are more specifically working on CitizenCon deliverables. So CIG don't have crunch in the same way because maybe people could argue that they potentially have a level of crunch every major patch release. But from what we've been told, CIG don't have crunch in the same sort of way, and they're quite good with their staff for the most part. And a lot of people immediately go, no, I've had the worst of their staff. Well, I've heard the opposite, and I've got friends that work there, and I think they're probably pretty good with their staff. Now, this 7-day work week article basically said they've got to come in on Friday, Saturday, Sunday to work over the next few weeks. And people are saying, well, this means that they've got like a 14-day week of work or 16 days of work before the end of CitizenCon. So what do you think about all this? Is this all blown out of proportion? Is this all incorrect? Is this all actually not that big of a crunch?
I think it's a bit blown out of proportion.
Yeah?
I think whoever wrote these articles has never worked a proper job in their life.
The opinions of Zin might not necessarily be the opinions of BoredGamer, but in this case, I mean, I do think it's quite reasonable crunch. I don't think it's unreasonable. I don't think the person there's had a crunch that's written the article there. I don't agree with their opinion. If
that's a crunch, then I used to crunch in my previous job every 2 or 3 quarters.
Don't have to crunch with BoredGamer.
No, I don't.
Last year's CitizenCon.
It wasn't that bad.
No, but that's as close to as crunch as we get, right? Like we might have to work a weekend occasionally. But yeah, the sort of article insinuates that they're being forced to work these ridiculous hours or anything. But I don't even think that ridiculous hours. Like, they've been told specifically that they have to have 11 hours outside of work each day in a 24-hour period, because in the UK that is legal unless you've waived it.
No, that's a legal requirement, I believe.
That's a legal requirement, okay. And then you can't work more than a certain amount of time.
48 hours.
48 hours in a week on average over 17 weeks, unless you waiver that. Yeah, I mean, it looks like they've basically said, Fridays are normally a work from home day. Can you come into the office? We want you in the office. Everyone's on the same page. We want you to work the Saturdays, the 2 Saturdays before CitizenCon. Assumedly, a lot of them will be working the Saturday of CitizenCon, but I'm not 100% sure on that. And then we'd like you to come on the Sunday, but you can do that from home if you can't make the office. And for the sake of effectively 2 weekends, maybe 3 for some of them that are actually doing stuff at CitizenCon. I don't think it's that bad. I don't think it's that harsh. And I believe they get time off in lieu. And you found some bits from CIG employees just saying...
Let me just add as well, because you didn't mention this at all.
Sorry, apologies.
Another UK law requirement is that you have to have a day off in any 7-day period or 2 days off in a 14-day period. Okay,
so they're probably getting that, just not those weekends that they've asked them to come in. Yeah. That's the other thing, the sort of these articles that I saw appearing talking about this basically shared an internal memo, internal email that said, can you come on these weekends? And they just assumed that they're having to work the full weeks as well.
Yeah, like there's no other information given and nothing's really been clarified.
Yeah, this email has been shared. I don't think that's a draconian at all. I think that's a reasonable thing. Obviously, if people can't make that, I'm hoping that CIG go, oh, okay, yeah, you can't make that for X, Y, or Y reason. And if it's just a request... I mean, I think they could technically force them to do it or fire them if they wanted to. No. But I doubt they'd do that.
You can't fire someone for not wanting to do overtime.
But it's not overtime.
Yes, it is.
Not if they say that you're having just to move around your schedule, right? Then it's not overtime. Or am I wrong? I might be wrong with that.
Again, it depends how it works. The fact that they're offering time off in lieu means that it's overtime.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. I see what you mean. Yeah. Okay.
But again, we don't know their contracts. We don't know like the ins and outs of everything.
No.
I've worked jobs where they've gone this period of time, like 2 or 3 months, like this is big event period. You cannot take any time off holiday. We expect you, well, not expect, but we would request that you work as much as you can, like come in weekends if you can, obviously within reason. And I've done that before.
Zin, I request that you work as much as you can. Yes, exactly. And we don't know the ins and outs of it. I haven't heard any of the staff complaining about it, though. I've only seen these people say, we've had these internal emails that have been shared, and oh my God, it's awful. It's like, no, I don't think so. I don't agree. But you do not have to agree with me, Ensign. What was this stuff that you found that CIG employees had been saying, though?
I'm not quite... It looks like it's Discord chat.
Yes. I think it's from Elliot as well. I think he's Kuaku. Basically, a couple of CIG devs have been on Twitter. No, on Twitch, in fact. I believe it probably almost certainly on Salty Mics, having a chat and basically saying people speculating on their work-life balance and that sort of stuff is kind of ridiculous. It's not the staff that seem to be complaining, and they're not being forced to do this. They're giving them the day back. They seem to be pretty happy about working on the stuff they're passionate about.
Yeah.
One of them said, I'm personally super passionate and excited about the work we're doing this year. It's my first CitizenCon in person and my biggest contribution yet. So the people that were working on the CitizenCon deliverables knew that this was going to happen, almost certainly. Yeah, I just think it's odd that people seem to have taken offence on CIG staff behalf without asking them if they were annoyed or upset first. But if you've heard differently, or if you're a CIG staff member and you are upset or annoyed, feel free to chuck it in the comments below. And my opinion is not that much of a crunch, and I don't think that's draconian at all. But yeah, I'm excited for CitizenCon. I hope to see some of you there. We are still gathering questions for CitizenCon in the Discord, and chuck them in the comments section of this video as well. If you've got any questions you'd like us to ask appropriate devs or me to merge into other questions, and I'll be chucking some stuff up on the Discord of where we're going to be if you want to come and meet us and say hello at CitizenCon. And feel free to come up and say hello to us. We are, especially me, I'm happy to say hello to anyone, and you're not bothering me at all. Say goodbye, Zin.
Goodbye, Zin.
Thanks very much for watching. I hope to see you at CitizenCon. It's going to be good. And love you. See you later. Bye. NordVPN. Listen to this guy. A very long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away, CIG had taken over the development of NordVPN. And at CitizenCon, the yearly Nord FanFest, they were releasing their first game, Squadron Nordy 2. It's amazing, and it would truly revolutionise the FPS industry. Then I woke up and realised that NordVPN is already great and released, and it doesn't need an FPS module, it's a VPN. And you should get it now, links below, discount, helps channel, read bullet points. Every month we have a ship giveaway. For October, it's for a Drake Corsair with a game package and lifetime insurance. All you have to do to be in for a chance of winning that lovely Star Citizen access and ship that can be used for exploration, but it's also this cool little multi-role, multi-crew ship. You just need to comment on any of our videos made during October. That will go into the hat. It's not a hat, it's a spreadsheet. It goes into that, and then a random person is chosen. With the addition of Alpha 4.0 and Pyro, there's going to be tons more to see and explore. The Corsair is perfect for that. Good luck. Please consider supporting the channel as well. We've got the join button under our videos that will make you a channel member. That goes a long way in supporting the channel, as does becoming a Patreon. It's pretty much the same thing, but for different mediums. You can also like, comment, share, or sub, things like that. That all helps with the channel hugely. We are also gathering questions for CitizenCon, so chuck those in the comments below as well. If I find any appropriate devs, I will ask your question, or I will probably amalgamate lots of questions together and make them more concise. Thank you so much for your support and watching, and I hope you have a great October.